That's what I'm talking about.
Birds Fly Talk family, what is going down? It's your host Kevin Taylor, and I'm back in the studio again today, and I have one of the biggest treats ever. I have a very, very special show here today for Faux Factor. It is the dawn of the bird battle, the battle of the birds as they call it, and I have a very special guest. We're going to get my man Tyler on the line. Tyler hails from Phoenix, Arizona, and he runs just the coolest kick-ass travel club in the country for the Arizona Cardinals. It's called Bird Gang Travel Club, and you can follow them at Bird Gang Travel on all social media facets. You can check them out at birdgangtravel.com, and they also own birdgang.com. So for any of you Eagles fans who previously thought we were Bird Gang, well, you've sadly mistaken, obviously, because they've got all the rights to Bird Gang. So we're going to get Tyler on the line here. We're going to talk about the matchup. We're going to talk about some outlook for the game. He's in Philadelphia right now. His group's going to be at Xfinity tonight, so if you're there, don't be shy. Go say hi and mingle with the enemy. And just before we get into it, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Birds Fly Talk. It's all over this place. You see that right down there in the corner. Hit subscribe here if you're new to the page. And we're going to keep connecting with you guys, keep getting this thing going. So without further ado, I want to invite my good friend Tyler on the line. Tyler, my man, how are you doing?
Doing great, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining the show. So how was the flight in from Phoenix? Was it a straight flight or?
Well, no. I had a layover in Charlotte. I missed my original flight.
Oh.
Yeah, so then I had to wait around the airport for about 2 hours. Luckily got on the next flight, and I made it in here early Thursday.
Wow.
So.
Well, hey, we're definitely happy to have you in. So how's Philly been treating you thus far?
Philly's great. Food's great. The people are great. It's always one of those trips, though, that when you talk about teams to go visit, you always hear from people, be careful, be safe. Like those fans are rough. You get that with Oakland, you get that with Philly, you get that with the Giants.
Yeah.
And so, that is something that you're always cautious about. But that's really why kind of Bird Gang Travel Club was invented, because with any road game, the whole idea is strength within numbers. You're less likely to have issues if you're traveling with 50 opposed to you and a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called Bird Gang Travel. So give us a little bit of background. Like, how did you get that started? Because obviously, like, some Cardinals fans are going to see this and maybe they, want to take part. So put it out there. What is Bird Gang Travel?
So Bird Gang Travel started 3 seasons ago. I do a road trip every year with a group of my buddies. It's usually 4 or 5 of us, and we pick one road trip a year. And I would be in all the Arizona Cardinal Facebook groups, the Arizona Cardinal threads online, the forums, and every away game, especially as we, from Super Bowl run on, from 2008 on, you would start to see a lot more fans talking about going on the road. Obviously winning helps everything. So
right.
We've been pretty decent over the past, almost 10 years now. So as the team kept growing in success, you'd see more and more people posting about road trips, and it was always a good experience going on the road, but it always missed something. And that was the one thing that I kept thinking was, I've coordinated things like my high school reunion for 200 people, and I've coordinated huge team leadership conferences. And as I was sitting the NFC Championship 3 years ago against Carolina, I was sitting in a bar the next day after we got blown out and said, you know what? We just need to do this. This could be so much better. Because right now, when people would go on the road, they typically would say, hey, let's meet at this bar. And then you would see, oh, well, I got there at 3 o'clock. I got there at 7. And people just would miss each other. And so we started small a few years ago and started doing bar parties for that NFC Championship game, a trip to Chicago, things like that. And then I was like, this could be a whole weekend experience. And so what ended up happening was we kind of developed a few staples. Friday night, as long as there's a body of water, we do a boat cruise. So we just did that last night. It's like a booze cruise. Everyone gets a little
right,
a little wasty in the on the park. And then Saturday we do a we have a pep rally party, and that was actually really inspired from the Packers group. The Packers group, when they would come to Arizona, and then the Redskins group, when they would come to Arizona, they would always hold like a pep rally party, and they'd have alumni. And it was through the team, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
And so they would do this whole away game travel setup, and so I was like, we need to do this. We need to help build our fan base that way. And so we started doing these pep rally parties on Saturday night. So that'll be tonight. And it's been really great because the owner of our team, Michael Bidwell, and the GM, Steve Keim, they usually roll up to the party. And then in addition, usually some alumni like Adrian Wilson, he comes by. So it's a very fun time for the fans. It's very personal and intimate, where you get to meet more people here on the road when you do road games. And then Sunday we have a tailgate. We'll do that at Xfinity Live as well before the game. And then we also provide the game tickets, the hotel for everyone. The only thing we don't provide is the airfare, because a lot of people get great deals on airfare for miles and things like that.
Right.
So that's the only thing we don't provide. But we started last year. We had our first trip was to Miami. We had 350 fans go. And then by the time we had our tailgate, because we do let people purchase a la carte as well, we had 500 fans at a tailgate in Miami. It was the craziest thing I've ever
Yeah. That's crazy.
Week one we were in Detroit. We had about 50 fans. This week we have about 60, and then in London in 2 weeks we'll have about 120 fans in London with us to see us take on the Rams.
Wow. So, guys, as you can hear, like this is no hey, let's plan this last minute. This is a major operation. Like this is serious. So when I say this is like awesome, we're so happy to have Tyler on the show. I mean, seriously, come on now. I mean, fans getting together, traveling cross country to see their team play. It doesn't get much better than that. So, Tyler, we love talking about the travel. We love everything you do, but we're here to talk business. Guys, this is Faux Factor. You guys know how this show goes. We get into it. We talk about the matchup. We talk about strengths and weaknesses, overall outlook, and we always end with a score. That's the rules. Let's get into it. So, Tyler, Eagles versus the Arizona Cardinals. What's your overall feel for this game? Are you nervous about the game? How do you feel about the game just overall? What's your gut check, as we like to call it here?
Well, the Cardinals' job right now in the first half of the season is just to survive at this point, because week one we lost everyone's favorite number one overall draft pick, David Johnson, our fantasy football draft pick. David Johnson, we lost him. He'll probably come back somewhere around week 10, week 11. So if we can just hover and hang out around that 500 area, that's really the plan for the team, I would think. Obviously, you want to win as many games as possible, but I think survival is where we're at as a team. We really struggled. Week one, the Lions did everything to give us a victory, and we still couldn't pull it out. Week two was against the Colts without Andrew Luck. We struggled with them, but we were able to pull out a win. And then week three with the Niners. I'm missing the Cowboy game there. Week three was the Cowboys. We did everything to win that game. We set them up in great field position all game, though, and that's really what the difference maker was. We should have been up 2 to 3 scores out of that first half, and didn't execute. So now you're 1-2 going into last week with the Niners, and a very bad Niner team. I mean, they're 0-4, and now they're 0-4, and we struggled to beat them. So it's one of those things where we're doing what we need to do. We're beating those teams we should, for the most part, beat. And that brings us to Philly. Philly has been playing really well. Carson Wentz looks like he's everything as advertised. So it is one of those things where my overall feeling is this could go either way. Either we're going to get shellacked or we're going to hang in there and squeak out a win. I don't see the Cardinals dominating the Eagles. I was here 2 seasons ago for a Sunday night game on our run to the NFC Championship, and for the most part, we owned most of that game.
Definitely did.
I don't foresee that happening tomorrow. So that is something that is different walking into this game. And I would tell you, if we were 100% healthy, I would think we would beat you guys probably by 7 or 10 points.
Right.
Not a lot, but just enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think talent wise, if the Cardinals are healthy, they are probably one of the top 5 teams in the NFL.
Right.
If healthy.
So
Uh,
so yeah,
so
you talk about health, right? David Johnson's obviously out. We you guys lost him. Thank God I had him on none of my fantasy teams, but I would have loved to have him. But how about your pass rush, right? Because didn't you lost? Who did you
Yeah,
lose?
we just lost Marcus Golden for what looks like probably a year with an ACL injury. So he was our leader in sacks last year.
Right.
We have scarily a really good pass rush for years up until last year. That was the one knock on us is we were having to manufacture pressure through the blitz, and we were not able to get to the quarterback until the addition of Chandler Jones from New England, and then with adding Marcus Golden through the draft, and then this year we just added Hassan Reddick.
Right, Philly guy.
Yeah, yep. So we just added Hassan Reddick, and hopefully Hassan will fill in where Marcus went down. And that's the hope. That's part of we got 3 problems. We've got running back issues because of the injury to David Johnson.
Right.
We've got our defensive line is a little banged up with Golden and those injuries, and then our offensive line. That's the real key. Is if you watch the Monday Night Football game with us and the Cowboys, Carson Palmer was getting hit all day, and the one goal this year was keep Carson up. If you keep Carson up and give him time, he's one of the better quarterbacks in football as long as he has time. But he hasn't had time, and that's the real issue. I think he's been hit more and hurried more than any quarterback in the NFL, was a stat I heard earlier this week. You're missing one of your starting guards, Mike Upati, a Pro Bowler.
Right.
DJ Humphries, who's now left tackle. He was the right tackle, and they flipped with Valdir. Upati's down, and then DJ Humphries is down. Like I said, Upati's out, and now Upati's backup, Alex Boone, who we just picked up recently from the Niners, he's out as well. It's looking like he's a game-time decision, but I don't feel really good about it. The last couple of weeks when we hear game-time decision, it usually led to they're out.
Right.
So that O-line is very banged up. If the Phillies can send some rush and apply some pressure, I think they'll have a lot of success getting to the quarterback. When you're allowed to only rush 3 or rush 4 and hang that many back in the secondary, it creates a lot of problems. And that's what we're seeing is the opponents are able to only rush a few and get to the quarterback, not even sending blitzes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about injuries too, and rush, our key player, and which many believe to be the best player on our defense, Fletcher Cox, is out for this game. And that has really been because the Eagles' defense, we haven't seen it in full force yet. Ronald Darby, he's an acquisition from the Bills, and you guys know, he dislocates his ankle in week 1, halfway through the game. He's been out, and he probably will return next week. Sidney Jones, still haven't got to see what he's got to bring and can really contribute to this defense. But really, those are your probably 2 starting outside cornerbacks right there. They're not going to be on the field. Fletcher Cox is out. Is Jordan Hicks at 100%, our middle linebacker? He has not really been, present in these games, making big plays like he normally is. I'm wondering, is he 100%? He's popped up and flashed on that injury report. Wendell Smallwood, who's got a big load now, is questionable with a knee. So you're seeing a lot of injuries here, I guess, on both sides. And one thing is that one of our injuries plays into one of your weaknesses as well. So when you guys got to hear Tyler's overall, gut check feeling for the game, and my gut check feeling for the game is, I'm just going to keep it 100% honest with you guys. This feels like a trap game to me. Yeah, it feels like a trap game to me. I look at the matchup, and I'm going to jump in, and then I'll give Tyler the floor. But I look at our strengths and weaknesses, and I ask myself, okay, how do we win this game? how do we win, right? So when I look at the Cardinals, right, you guys' secondary is just outstanding. Marcus Peters, you can forget about Alshon Jeffrey this week because he's going to lock him down. Then you got the Honey Badger. He's probably going to be in the slot. They do pretty well against the tight ends as well. So, Zach Ertz has to really step up and play above average, which he has been doing. And then their top.
What you'll see on that note is Hassan Reddick will be over Zach Ertz all day at linebacker.
Right.
So Hassan Reddick is one of the fastest players in the field. The last guy that I've seen move like him at linebacker was Darrell Washington, who used to play for us, and he was a top linebacker in the league.
Right.
You give a few more games, and you may really see a breakout star, Hassan Reddick. So
yes.
Look for that in this game tomorrow. With Hassan Reddick all over Ertz.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, there's a reason why Hassan Reddick shot up draft boards this past draft season. I mean, he is a freak, and I would have loved to have him in Philly. And so when you look at those matchups, you say, like, everyone's pretty much even except for, the Honey Badger is obviously more than likely going to outclass Aguilar. Alshon Jeffrey maybe might get 3 or 4 targets, but I don't think Carson's gonna, he's not gonna play with fire over there.
Nobody typically throws Patrick Peterson's way.
Exactly. So, yeah,
and I think you'll see. But what you'll see is Patrick really guards a side, so that will create where there should be some openings for Alshon.
Yeah.
At some point, when they disguise the routes and do different things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, you look at our game against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. And Peterson really held his own. You did not see Des Bryant most of the game. So
right. So the thing is, when I look at the game, and to that note too, Alshon's favorite route is that slant route, those in routes. Alshon does not run a complete route tree. He's a big body, so couple slants here or there. But if you guys are thinking about starting Alshon Jeffrey and you have a better alternative, I seriously suggest it. But this isn't a fantasy show. This is real football. And so when I look at this game, I know that they have a top 10 run defense. But in my perspective, I think it's going to have to be a balanced attack. The Eagles are going to have to find a way. What's working for them? We need Wendell Smallwood tomorrow because we need to go with different paces. We need to be able to, stagnant LeGarrette Blount's run attack in there. We're not going to be able to, ground and pound all day with him. And don't fool yourself. He's been great the last 2 weeks, but those were 2 terrible, terrible run defenses we went up against. So that's how I feel about it. I think the Eagles will find a way to pull it out, but if they do not, and it's the same thing I said in week 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs, if we do not come out and execute and play our best football, this isn't going to be a game where we just come out and we don't execute here and there and we play sloppy. If we don't come out and play our best football, we will not win this game. It just is a fact of the matter. Their weaknesses are there, but their strengths play right into our weaknesses. We have a weak secondary. You've got Larry Fitzgerald. Is John Brown, is he back this week?
Yeah, John Brown, he played a lot of snaps last week. I think he was in on 70 snaps last week. He is battling that sickle cell, situation that he has. They're not trying to rush him back, but he did get a considerable amount of snaps last week, so he should be in the game this week. But you never know with that. I mean, he could wake up tomorrow and not be feeling good and not play. So
yeah, and that's tough. But, I mean, John Brown there, you can expect the field to get stretched, and how this our pass defenses we're 2 in the league, number 2 right behind Denver. We're letting up around like a little over 78 yards on the ground, a game which is top 2 in the NFL. Denver's letting up 54, which is absolutely incredible. But our pass defense is just it's bottom third of the NFL. It's terrible right now. So. If we do not get pressure, I don't see us winning this game. I think we can do it. I think if we bring that same effort at the top, what we did last week, we definitely can. But like I said, you have to execute in this game. This is not a rollover game. The Cardinals have had our number the past few times they've come here. Bruce Arians, I have the utmost respect for him as a coach. He can scheme his butt off. And I really feel like this will be a tough game. We've pulled some out, and I think the Eagles are in line to really be tough, play tough, pull out. They've won the close games at the end, and I feel like this is going to be that way. So I won't jump to my score yet. But Tyler, I want to hear what and just to clarify what my statement was, we have to be balanced and we have to find a niche in the first half and exploit it. And in the second half, when they adjust, we have to be ready to adjust. That's the only way. So don't come out thinking you're going to, go pass heavy, run heavy, give everything a chance, give the screen game a chance, give the draw game a chance too. That might be big there as well. And find what works and exploit it. Set it up. Don't jump to conclusions in this game because, like I said, Bruce Arians will adjust. That defense there is strong, so we'll see what happens there. But Tyler, I want to see how do you answer this question? How do the Arizona Cardinals win this game?
Well, hopefully, if they take anything from their first 4 games, our usual overall attack is to throw that deep ball. It's to take the top off the defense, throwing to J.J. Nelson or to John Brown. But many teams have started to try to shut that down for us. So you're going to look for a lot of those underneath routes to Larry Fitzgerald or Jerron Brown, or even your tight ends. You got Gresham, you got Moma. So you will look for a lot of those as well. I think that's how they're going to have to win this game. I think they need to start out hot, which they have. The last couple of games, we start out real hot in the first half. It's been the second half where normally we would be good about our second half adjustments, and the teams just look tired at that point. By then, the offense has been so beat up and playing with all the backups, third stringers, rookies, everyone you're plugging in there. That's where we've really struggled. So where we need to win this game is we're going to need to keep our defense needs to come up with turnovers big time. I mean, that's really been our strength. It's been our defense. And they've got to keep us in this game. And what you've typically seen with our defense, opposed to elite defenses, is elite defenses can shut a team down all game. Our defense starts out really hot and really shuts down the opponent, and then it looks like they just get this like overwhelming feeling of, gosh, there's no way we're going to win this game because our offense isn't giving us anything. So then the defense just like mails it home.
Fading away, yeah.
And that's really what we need to avoid. And if Bruce has pushed anything on them, it's, one, we need to change our offense to stop trying to throw deep all the time. I love the chunk play idea. I love Bruce says he loads up the pistol with 6 bullets and he doesn't want to come back with any. He wants to throw it deep a few times a game. But your problem is the pressure that's getting back in Carson within, a second to 2. If he doesn't get 3 to 4 seconds back there, he ain't throwing deep. Hey. So our overall attack is going to have to be short route. So hopefully he's adjusted that. And then hopefully our defense can play a complete game. That will be the key to us. And even then, if we execute those 2 things, I still think by the end of the game, you're looking very close. I mean, it's going to come down to the final minutes, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be completely wrong and we're going to get blown out. That's how it's going to be. I just am, to be brutally honest, I love our team, but it's either we're going to keep it close. I don't see us blowing out the Eagles. I don't think that's an option, but I may be wrong. We'll see. We will see.
Well, hey, like I said, this is a game of execution. You guys heard, and we appreciate the honesty from Tyler, because you guys heard me in week 2. And what did I say in week 2? I said if we don't come out and execute and play our very best football against the Kansas City Chiefs, we will not win that game. And what we did was we went like this. We sputtered. We weren't consistent through that entire game, and it came down to us being down 2 possessions and it really being a pipe dream to come back and win that. So, Tyler, before we end, and obviously, this is just a plethora of information, and this is the benefit of having someone who's from the area, who follows the team. He goes to every single game, on the road and at home. He knows what he's talking about. No, we won't even go there. I just want to know, honest opinion. So he's been very honest on how this game goes. And you guys know me. I give my honest score opinion. Tyler, what is your score before we end?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this since you told me yesterday when we talked about getting together. And I don't want to give a score that doesn't allow the Cardinals to win. But going into this trip, I haven't thought we're winning this game. So I'm going to give you a score of optimism. I think 17-14, we pull it out. But if I'm brutally honest, I don't think we win this game, and I really hope I'm wrong. As again, we need to stay for us. The whole idea is we need to stay just hovering around that 500 mark. If we drop today, then that means we need to win next week, and that's a scary situation. You don't want to be hovering around 500. You want to pull away a little bit.
Yeah.
We're one game back of the Rams, who have been very surprising lately.
Yeah.
So it is something where in our division we do need to hang close, or this could get bad for us really quick. So I'm hoping for a 17-14 Cardinal win. Otherwise, I think you guys take it. So.
Hey, well, I definitely I think 17-14 for the Cardinals from your perspective and what you guys need to do. I think it's realistic. I don't think this was one where, I just couldn't. Now, when we play the Bears, if they don't give us, a score for, us, I'll be like, okay, come on, let's be real here. But that's honestly possible. I've got the Eagles pulling this game out 28-20. I think the Cardinals definitely will hit a long ball on us in this game. I think you pair that with another score by way of, I don't know, those chunk plays we just talked about, the underneath. I think is CJ 2K tooting it today? Is he going to lead or?
It's a very weird situation at running back. A couple of weeks ago, you had Kerwin Williams was our number one. They really liked him all through training camp. They've had him for the past few years, either hovering in the practice squad or playing for up with the 53 man. But then you went to CJ 2K. Chris Johnson was the starting running back a few weeks ago. He came in relief efforts. I believe that was against the Cowboys. I believe it was against the Cowboys or the Colts. But he came in relief and had a nice few runs.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 weeks or so, Andre Ellington, who always has had a lot of promise. And look for if we're winning this game, it's because of a big game out of Andre Ellington, catching a lot of passes out of the backfield. Our biggest issue is getting those runs, those 4-yard, 5-yard, 6 yards, occasionally breaking off an 8 to 10 yard run. That is going to be an issue as well that we didn't talk about. But I think Andre Ellington gets the start, but it will be by committee between Andre Ellington, Chris Johnson, and maybe a little Kerwin Williams. They may start to add in Elijah Penny. Look for him as well. He is a player they do really like, and kind of a bigger back. So you may see some goal line stuff out of him as well.
For sure. So look, guys, this is a full running back room. You guys know what our running back room is. This is going to be a good battle. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. It's going to be a tough-fought game, and I'm looking forward to it. Tyler, so that was me. I've got 28-20. Tyler went 17-14 for the Cardinals. Guys, Tyler, again, just want to thank you for, jumping on here. Best of luck with, all the future plans. They're going to London, guys. That's pretty awesome. So once again, thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you, Kevin, for having me. This has been great, and I would it'd be my fault not to shout out and acknowledge I was really inspired to do this whole thing after seeing you guys have the Green Legion, and I know they do a bunch of fan travel trips as well, and I came here a couple seasons ago, saw what they did here at home, and then got to really hear what you guys do on the road as well, and between seeing that group and what they do, you guys have a great traveling fan base. And then in addition, we with us and now you see Packers, Redskins. It's great just to see fans going to road games and not fans living in those cities rocking the away team jersey, but actual fans traveling from their home states on the road. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'd encourage any fan of your show that hasn't done an away trip. Next time Philly comes to Arizona, it's always nice to beat the cold weather here in Philly and come out to Arizona. We have a great tailgate at home. People would be more than welcome to check out our website, send us an email if that does happen in the future, and we would be glad to host some Philly fans at our tailgate.
So you guys heard it. Open invitation. And you guys can check them out. Once again, that's at Bird Gang Travel on social media. It's birdgangtravel.com. Please, please, please go check out their website. Connect. That's what this is all about. And football's family. So, look, give them a definite check. And they own birdgang.com as well. So, look, guys, this was Faux Factor. Once again, Tyler dropped down with the 17-14 prediction for the Cardinals. I came back with the 28-20 prediction for the Eagles. Guys, we will see you at the game tomorrow. Don't forget to send us your in-game thoughts, all that stuff. We're going to have the Fly Talk line open so you can give us a call during the game and leave a message. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe to Birds Fly Talk, and we will keep pumping out production and keep connecting with you guys, the greatest fans in the world. Tyler, once again, thanks so much for being on with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Guys, this was Birds Fly Talk. I'm Kevin Taylor. Let's go get a dub. It's the Battle of the Birds. Bird Fly Talk. We are out of here. Peace.